Well, it very much continues to be par for the course on the pitch with Distillery here. We're largely getting the results we expect, albeit with one or two bigger scoring games than we're used to experiencing. But the big change since you were last with me is we've had a massive upgrade off the pitch. Our staffing team is very new look. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 48 of Lifting Spirits with me, Daniel. We are back with Distillery in this Build a Nation save, and today we face the top two sides in the division. We're in a slightly false position as Liverpool behind us do have 4 games in hand due to their European exploits, but we're in 5th place, and at the moment that battle between us and Cliftonville for the final spot in the top half potentially could be closer than it initially looked. The issue though, before we get too excited, is we still do have to face Coleraine, Larne and Cliftonville in the next few matches, and we have had more of our friendlier fixtures in recent weeks, so it's not particularly easy, but with fixture congestion on the way, a spell in which we did alright last year, this might be the time for us to succeed. If you want to find out if we do, then please do put a thumbs up on it. Of course, we have got to talk about other things too. The most important of them is off the pitch, staffing. We have finally made the upgrades we talked about. We've been left a bit frustrated when chasing transfer targets early, but a couple of key players tied down on new contracts, and most importantly, lots of new staff into the club. But let's go and start with the results. That's the bit you're all worried about, isn't it? If we have a look at the schedule, it's not been bad at all since you were last here. Of course, you were with me for Cliftonville and Larne last time out. That point against Cliftonville looking a much better result now. And since then, we've had one really awful day, one really brilliant one, and a lot of as expected apart from that. So again, we're probably not doing anything that really surprises me yet this year, and the rest of this month is going to be more of a test. But for now, let's have a look at the results since you were here. We beat Carrick Rangers by 1-0. That was a big goal from Jonathan Muckle-Hatton, and we held on for a 1-0 to the Distillery. We don't have many of those these days, do we? We then lost on penalties in the League Cup to Larne. Unfortunate, but Ethan Ross was man of the match throughout. He kept us in the tie. We didn't deserve to win it. We then won 5-1 at Crusaders. We were 1-0 down after 4 minutes. We were level after half an hour. But then we just went on a scoring spree. Muckle-Hatton completed his brace, Dobbin, Orkin and Scott got one apiece. Before a 1-0 defeat at home to Glentoran, we couldn't get back against 10 men in the second half. We were trying to push forward, but they had their lead. We just didn't have the quality to break them down. Again, you can see big away attendance in. We're only bringing a couple of hundred of home fans. And then against Glenavon away from home, another good result. In fact, actually looking at it, our away form is far better than our home form this year, isn't it? Convey and Latifa with late goals to turn that one around before a really disappointing 3-0 defeat, this time at home to Ballymena. We got done by 2 first half free kicks by different takers, one from each side of the pitch, and then all the Lewises combined to score because Lewis McCann, Lewis Maloney and Lewis McKinnon made it 3-0 to the visitors. A far cry from what we saw at the Ballymena Showgrounds back in August. We then had the weird 4-week break in which we played a couple of friendlies to keep fresh. Lots of the bigger side rejected games against us because some of the lower leagues were still playing a lot of football and there were still 1 or 2 cup games as well. But we did come back against Carrick Rangers again, and we did win again. Leon Boyd ended his goal drought. Either side of that, Dobbin and Scott got goals, but Scott did pick up an injury. He'll be out for a couple of weeks now, and we go into a very tough run of fixtures, not really wanting a depleted squad. So we're going to go and get through to the first game against Coleraine. Then we're going to have a look at the staffing upgrades at the club, and then it's Larne. These two are fighting it out at the top. So let's see if we can make an impact in this title race. Distillery versus Coleraine. Jamie Glackin should be closed down. He's still going strong there. Just 400 fans in for this one and a very threadbare squad. Aaron Jarvis has requested a transfer. Darrell Levingston has requested a loan. But the first 11, with the injury to Lewis Scott, is pretty predictable, I'd say. We've got Ethan Ross in goal. Fullbacks are Dobbin and Bell with Orkin and Williams as centre half. Whitehall and Daniels at the midfield too, with Latifa and James Convey coming in on the wings. Barry Coffey is there as the number 10 and Muckle-Hatton up front. He is not playing brilliantly, but he's scoring goals, and if he can win us 1 in 4 games, I consider him a big success. In terms of contracts very quickly, Daniel Dobbin has signed a new one for another year, I believe. He has indeed. And we've also got Latifa tied down for another year. He asked for a little bit of a pay rise. and Barry Coffey is the final one, who's tied down for another season. So a few of those key players, the starters from the team, in fact nearly all of it, bar Orkin, probably tied down for 2 years now. So we're looking really good on that front. We've got a settled side, we're playing well, and we're producing results for the most part. Let's go and get through to the home game against Coleraine. I'm going to start balanced, but I'm aware we might have to drop to cautious. And hopefully we can sneak ourselves a point again. And here are the lineups, as it's 3 changes for Coleraine. Conor McKendry coming into the side, experience in the form of Lyndon Kane, Glackin we mentioned, Shevlin, Conor McDermott we had in that Cliftonville save all the way back in FM20, and Gareth Dean, a very solid man between the sticks. Some good players on the bench as well. McCurry, Bird, Reece Jordan is a very solid squad. We're going to keep our eye on it, but we're going to get into the first half. Can we compete toe-to-toe? This is the one thing we haven't done yet. Against these big sides, we've had to go cautious to stay in the game, and I don't know whether we need that here. We'll give it about 15 minutes before deciding, as we're back with Ethan Ross playing out from the back. Got time, he's not in a rush already in fairness. Dobbin picks it up from him at right back and gives it to Latifa. Into Whitehall, who's caught napping in possession. We cannot afford for our midfield two to do that. Shevlin's in, it's a good block by Williams. I'm going to drop to cautious because I can see us getting done in behind there already. Orkin's not got the pace at the back. Williams can't do both men's work. And I'm a little bit annoyed that the 2 players genuinely good enough, the midfielders Daniels and Whitehall, are the 2 that are slipping up early here. 10 minutes gone, it's been all Coleraine. But at the moment, we're keeping the ball most of the time. Should preserve fitness as we've just made. Forget what I was going to say at the end of that sentence. I was going to say it will benefit us later on. Not when we're defending like that. The through ball, Ross came for it, stood there, the ball sort of half hit him, and then it was just a tap in for Lyndon Kane. Absolutely scandalous defending. And of all the times to do it, you play the leaders and give away a goal like that. Ross does make a good save from the next corner. Whitehall clears away, but we're under big pressure here. We're not playing well. I mean, it's a terrible goal to give away. And at the half an hour mark, we're deservedly behind. And we're back with yet another free kick. This time the visitors into the back post and the header straight down at Ethan Ross, who can counter. He's not really looking to do it very quickly, which is a bit of a problem for us. I would like him to just get that punt downfield to McElhatton and let him have a go over the top. Coffey's the out target there, but he doesn't quite get on the end of it. McKendry can bring it down for Shevlin. He goes back to his defender. I mean, there's no pressure on it. This is not the way we normally play. And they look very comfortable on the ball. I know we can come out, but we'll just get roasted in behind, as we are anyway. Conor McKendry's in. Ethan Ross is sat down. It's a lovely finish into the corner. And we're 10 to the break. It's game over. And I think you're still seeing the 3 or 4 professional sides at the top. We're nowhere near them. And we're back with a Coleraine throw again. This risk getting a little bit ugly here. And it is something I will say this season. Despite the fact we've overall been better, when we have lost games, it's not like last year where all of them bar 2 or 3 were by the odd goal. We've lost a 3-0, a 4-2. We've been a little bit more haphazard defensively. And I know that's new players settling in. I know that's perhaps a change in maybe tact, trying to be a bit more aggressive on the counter. But it's not really working out for us here. As Bell clears the ball downfield to McDermott. He gets it back into Shevlin. Off the woodwork, Williams away. We are so lucky it's only 2. At half-time, Coleraine absolutely battering us. They're probably the best side we've played this season. Let's throw the water bottle. You've been terrible. And I know you played 3 nights ago, but you've got to do better than this. Into the second half we go. I hope we don't get embarrassed. We've got another big game in a week, and this is what I mean about the table. Linfield win a couple of their games in hand. Cliftonville winning a game or 2 when we're losing. It suddenly looks awful. And I don't know what's happening today. What has happened to Ethan Ross? He's dropped another one through his hands there. It is turning into a nightmare for what is one of the best players at the club. I'm going to encourage the lads because they're really struggling psychologically. But Cliftonville are ahead. It's starting to look close in the middle. And maybe 7th place is the destiny after all. At this point, I'm just going to make changes to save people. Bell off for Shay Lucas, who can get a run out. I'm going to do the same for Boyd up front for McElhatton, who looks at risk of being booked. Coffey will come off in the number 10 for Heaney. Oren Crow will come on for Sean Daniels. In fact, I could take Whitehall off because he's not had the best game either. I'll take Whitehall off. We'll bring Crow on for him. And then the final sub, Dobbin off at right back. Model citizen Daniel McGill gets a run out. Didn't go well for him on the opening day against Linfield. Let's hope he can do a bit better tonight. What an embarrassing performance. What a time for it to show up. But we have been like this at home this year. We do score a goal now with Kofi Orkin. Lovely header at the back post. Consolation if nothing else there, but what is it with the home form this year? It's generally where we've always been better. And this year, I only noticed it when we were going through the fixtures there. The fact that our big defeats are coming at home, we're winning nearly every away game, and we're conceding more goals than ever as well. There's definitely some worry there. 20 minutes to go, the stats look a little better now, but Coleraine thoroughly deserved the win, and we're going to do nothing except hope we don't concede another one, as Gareth Dean plays out from the back under no pressure at all. Doran to Mitchell, who hoofs it long. Coleraine are a very good direct second ball team in real life, so no real surprises in attack there, although Heaney's got in. Can we make this interesting? Leon Boyd's 1-on-1. It's 3-2. We have got 8 minutes to go, and we have got 2 goals back. Imagine we pull out a point from this. It wouldn't be deserved. It certainly wouldn't be justified. But I'm going to encourage them again. We're going to go attacking. There is 1.5 minutes plus stoppage time. There's 5 added on, but I don't think it's coming. It's glorious defeat. It's an awful head start we gave them. And let's be honest, if Ethan Ross had put up half a good performance and not been at fault for one of the 2 goals he was, it wouldn't have been 3-2. It would have been a 2-1 win. They're the fine margins at this level. Coleraine still deserve their victory. And now, it doesn't get any easier, does it? We go and face Larne, the 2-time champions. Well, we are back to face Larne, which I don't think is going to be any easier than the last one. Linfield closed the gap by winning the first game in hand. Cliftonville, of course, closing the gap as well, though they do go away to Coleraine today, which might be tough. And for us, it might be good going away from home because we've really struggled at our home ground, and away from home we can be a bit more cautious. We don't have to worry what people think, and it might be a chance for us to pick up a bonus result. It doesn't look like any of that bottom 5 are getting closer, so it is just the professional sides, and then us, Ballymena United, and I think Cliftonville are still semi-pro too. So we're the 3 semi-pro sides battling it out for the last 2 top half spots. The other 4, they're going to be miles clear yet again, because if Linfield win their games in hand, they're up with those 3 anyway. But firstly, I did want to show you some staffing stuff. We've had frustration on the transfer front for players because the player I wanted to nick on a free from Linfield, he was just waiting to see if he was happy to discuss terms. He's then signed an extension with them. Would have been the big solution at right back as well, but not to be. Let's have a look at the staff though, because we got rid of an awful lot, and I'm pretty happy with what we've managed to get in. So let's start with the stuff off the coaching pitch. A new head physio in Anton Forbes. He was one of those who I think popped up in the coaching vacancies in that sort of staff meeting bit. The rest of them have come via adverts. So Anton Forbes, 14 physiotherapy. He's really good at his job. Did have to pay about $3,000 compensation. Mark Harkness is a scout, and he is one of those who came up in the job centre. He applied for a job as a scout. He is 10 for judging ability, 11 for potential, good personality, good tactical knowledge, determined. I mean, he's a very good scout for this level. Has been a player, recently retired, and lots of knowledge of Northern Irish football. Moving up to the coaching team though, we have got a lot more to get excited about. We start with a new head of youth development. Chris Keenan comes in, again 10 and 11 for judging ability and potential, good working with youngsters, very decent mentally. He's someone I'm looking forward to seeing as well. Again at 40, retired not that long ago. It's his first job outside the playing world. Lewis Moat was the other one that popped up in the backroom advice. We actually got him from Hitchin under 18s. You've seen live clips of me being at their games in real life before, but he's a very good goalkeeping coach, good working with youngsters, and level of discipline, motivating, both very good. Didn't help in the last game free from Ross though, did it? And then moving further down to the coaches, Adrian McLaughlin is our new fitness coach, model professional personality, had been assistant at Institute. He's a very good coach. Looking forward to working with him. Chris McPhee is the second one in. Good tactical coach, good attacking, good technical, fairly professional, good knowledge of England. Was at Concord and Bromley as manager, so knows the pressures we're working with there. Had been at Exeter prior, working with the youth sides. Sean Shields has been here a while. He's probably our best coach overall, but with the other standouts around him, and we've still got one space left there as well, we are starting to look a very good club on the training ground. And those of you that have followed this channel for years before, you'll know why I see this as so important. I've done a top 3 on it before. You can find that in the eye above. But if you can take one bit of advice from my channel in FM, get the coaching team sorted before you get the playing staff sorted, because then any players you've got in will improve as much as possible. This coaching team overall, and if we can get that one more gem in, will allow us to do it. But off the pitch, there's one big role at any football club. It's the director of football. Those who are natural Northern Irish football fans will have already seen and recognised the name. David Jeffrey is our new director of football, one of the most successful managers in Northern Irish history, won a record number of trophies at Linfield as manager, currently at Ballymena in real life, probably performing above expectations. He's a perfectionist, mentality-wise he's brilliant, and that's what I want in this club, a lot of stronger characters, people who can put that grit into our team. And after a spell with Dungannon and Newry as manager, he drops down to the director of football role, where he will assist me. But will it help us as we go away to face Larne? I'm not so sure it will. Probably not a quick fix thing this, but I am going to go with the same 11. I am going to go with the same 18. I know we've got quality on the bench. I know there's some good players about, but I'm going to stick with the same team in this one. We're going to start cautious. We're not going to try and come out at the start of the match. And hopefully we won't give up a 3-goal lead. Only one way to go and find out. Let's go and get into it. It's Larne v Distillery. And it's 3 changes for the host today. They've got some good players in that side as well. Even the ones on the bench we could probably do with. I'm looking at their starting lineup. Doherty and Bonis, good players in attacking areas. They've got Sean Want as skipper at the back. And look who's at right back. He's still there going strong. Bobby Harvey is the right back for Larne. How's he getting along now? KLM Reid is leaving the club. He's on the bench going to Cliftonville. I want to find him though. Where is the right back Bobby Harvey? He is worth 425 grand, played 4 games in Europe, has played nearly all of them in the league. He is turning into a real superstar. Amazing to think that he was the first one we found. If only we had a sell-on clause, because he will go for big money. Let's go and get through to the dressing room though. Let's go and tell the lads there's no pressure on them. We're going to drop to cautious, we're going to sit behind the ball. We are very much playing for a draw here. Well, I don't want to speak too soon, but we're back with 19 minutes gone and it's been fairly successful for us so far. I say that as we give the ball away playing a long diagonal. The lads completely ignoring the instructions this time around and they can just roll out from the back here. You know Larne are going to try and play the better football. You know they've got good players technically and they're players that are on massive money compared to our team. Even Bobby Harvey earning more than twice any of our players and he's one of their youngsters in the squad. As here is Harvey on the right hand side, down the line to McClellan, through ball towards Bonis. Can one of our defenders deal with it? Not properly. Orkin gives it away and the shot is just over the bar. Lovely technique on the volley from Larne, but thankfully did nothing with it. As Curtis Bell mops up there, back to Ethan Ross. Again, it's a long aimless ball. It's not really getting anywhere. If we look at the instructions, just a reminder, shorter passing. But these players, they're not of the highest quality technically. When they come under pressure, in these games against the professional side, bang, they panic, go long. It's worked this time though. Who complains about the ball going long? When Jonathan Muckle-Hatton can get on the end of a 60-yard ball, Daniels played it over the top. It's a lovely through ball. I don't think he intended it, but Muckle-Hatton finishes. And generally, in the games where he has had service, unlike the last one, he's delivered the goods for us. He gets his 15th for the season, and we're playing out from the back again. In fact, Larne are playing out. Almost forgot what I'm managing there. Bobby Harvey gets it. I got fooled by the name as Want the skipper. Looks for the longer ball, but instead plays short to Harvey. Larne in no rush. They're still playing the ball. They're still keeping it nicely. They're still not trying to break us with a direct style of play. Will they eventually be forced long? Doesn't look like it. Bagley wide to Kennedy. We've pressed them this time. We've been caught out. Through ball to Bonis, straight from the kickoff. Oh, all that hard work to get ahead. And we have literally conceded from the kickoff. I don't actually think we touched the ball after it, did we? It goes straight in the other end, a minute apart. And Larne are level. It did not take long. I feel like we might have woken them up and scored a little bit too early here, as Convey gives the ball away but does fight to win it back. Coffey finds Curtis Bell. He's demanding a new contract too, so I think given his demands he'll be gone soon. Though Muckle-Hatton's in again. Muckle-Hatton scored again. Lovely ball from Daniels. It's his second assist of the match. And I don't remember him playing too many of those this season. Let's have a quick look at him. Oh, I take it back. And a few of you said it in the comments last season, didn't you? It wasn't great that Jarvis only had 2 assists and that Levingston only had 2 or 3. And maybe you're right, because that will be 7 assists in 16 games, or 15 games in fact, for Daniels. He's basically 1 in 2 for assists, and he's nearly scored a free kick there. He's starting to look a super player. And alongside Whitehall, it is the area of the team that's upgraded. If we can get 2 spare defenders at right back and left centre half that are as good as Whitehall and Daniels next summer, then I do believe that we'll get into Europe the following year. But it is going to be tricky to do because those 2 players are the best we've had by a long way. And to get them in defence, to get them up front, to get a whole spine of the team at that level, it's a very tough ask. At half time though, we are remarkably 2-1 up, and away at Larne, we might be pulling off our best result of the season, maybe our best league result of the save. I don't remember winning an away game against a side this big. Corner kick for Larne, set piece time, Want heads over the skipper. We get away with another one. Time for changes. Well, I don't want to make too many this early because it does risk coming back to bite us, but I'm just going to make 1 or 2 I think to freshen it up. Barry Coffey again actually not had the best game, so Killian Heaney on for him. Bit more of a runner rather than a footballer there. Williams and Orkin have struggled at the back. Orkin's looking aggressive. Going to bring on the added pace of McDowell. Just hope it helps. He is, of course, from Larne originally, so it could go either way, this one. 15 minutes to go. We're still holding on, but Larne have had pressure throughout this second half. Big hoof downfield from McDowell. McElhatton will chase. He's on a hat-trick, don't forget, remarkably, as Donnelly's cross is blocked up to Kelly. Good header from Dobbin, but it is very backs to the wall now. Latifa can't bring it away. Roney goes wide to Bobby Harvey. Not him, of all the people. It's a shot just wide of the post. He saw his name in lights. I'm happy for him to take it on. 10 minutes to go. Let's make another change. It's going to be Latifa off, Oren Crow on, more just because I haven't got other options. Dobbin struggling at right back. I'm going to bring on Daniel McGill. Bit of extra height at the back post there. 4 changes made. The other ones, a Boyd, maybe a time-wasting striker change last minute. The other 2, I don't really fancy. So let's just leave it. 10 minutes to go. We are beating Larne, but they are definitely the better side this half. Can we cling on with a cautious display? Can we play on the counter against all these big sides? Maybe it's the setup we should be going for from the start. It's certainly the one that's working better. I'm going to make that change now. McElhatton off, Boyd on. Literally just a time waste. We've got the time wasting on. We're slowing the game down. And that, I think, is the best result of the save on its own. Forget about the context of it. Forget about the importance. Just as a result, against a side that have been champions twice, were very close runners-up last year, and are right in a title race this year. To win away from home against them, I think it's our biggest win. Certainly our biggest away win of the save. And the lads were absolutely magnificent. So disappointment at home yet again. Frustration against Coleraine. But on the road, we're starting to look some side. Well, perhaps a little bit frustratingly, the other results didn't really go our way. Ballymena got a win at Crusaders. Cliftonville managed to nick a point against Coleraine, so everyone's still staying in the mix. Of course, Linfield we're not even going to worry about. I will have a quick look to see how they're doing in Europe, but they're going to fly past us in the league. They got the draw in the opening match. I think they've lost all of them since. They have indeed. They've been tough games, but they're representing the country well. They've really done a great job to get into the group stages again, and Northern Irish football is well and truly on the up. So let's go and see what we can do about it. Hopefully 1 or 2 additions to come in January. But we all know that this could go either way because the festive action in Northern Irish football is nuts. From 1 game in November and 4 games in February to 16 games in the 2 months in between. We've got an Irish Cup game against Warren Point. We'll rest everyone for that because for us, it's about trying to get results in the league fixtures. We're going to struggle a bit with congestion, but I think we're going to come back for the last 2 matches in January. We'll see if there's any transfer updates too. If it changes, we can come back one earlier, try and get revenge on Coleraine. But 2 of those 3, January transfer action, and fingers crossed, a lot more excitement and a top half finish that we can compete for. If you're looking forward to finding out if we can, and you did enjoy this topsy-turvy episode, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know what you think of the staffing additions, and do you prioritise those changes as much as me? How on earth did we win against Larne? What can we do to address our home form? And how do you think we're going to go this season? Will it be us or Cliftonville nicking a top 6 spot? And can we do better if we get into the European playoffs this time? Maybe the cup will be our saving grace. We'll find out later in the season. If you want to find out too, then subscribe and turn that notification bell on. We'll be back with this one in a couple of days' time as our 2 long-term stories rotate each day. The head coach is back tomorrow though. It is a blockbuster finish to the season. Or will it be the finish? Come and find out with me. I'll put that playlist in the eye above now so you can catch up if you've missed any of it. We also interviewed a Hollywood actor over on the podcast channel. You can find that one up there too, as well as the Twitch channel and so much more. But I'll put the head coach above my head now. Do check it out if you haven't already. And I'll see you back here next time for more big games and hopefully some transfer action with Distillery.